Hello and welcome back to the Sports Pod with me, Freya Batkin. Today's topic is all about the 2024 Paralympics and Olympics and the debate around whether the media coverage is local or global. We'll be talking about globalization, nationalism, and how the media feeds into both of these topics, while discussing companies such as NBC, Eurosport, and Channel 4, who all use YouTube to distribute their content. So with that in mind, make yourself comfortable and let's get started. Firstly, let's talk about nationalism. To understand the role of nationalism, we have to understand the theories that delve into the relationship between mass media, culture, and the nation state. And there are a few theories that represent this triad. So we've got Gellner's functionalism, Anderson's popular imagination, and Smith's ethnoculturalism. So Gellner's functionalism refers to the rising of socio-political changes based on their function. So basically, he viewed culture as a set of signals and then society as a system of roles. So the state is the authority and the nation abides. Anderson's popular imagination discusses nationalism as an imagined concept, as it's not possible to know everyone. So nationalism is the natural outcome of abstract thought. So it focuses more on individual consciousness. Smith's ethnoculturalism refers to nationalism as a pre-existing ethne that's passed on to future generations. So it focuses on shared myths and memories. Although all of these theories separately have their downfalls, altogether they paint the picture that nationalism is state and society, an imagined community, and it binds generations together. Nationalism is rife within the Olympic and Paralympic Games. Although from the outside it may look globalized, isn't the entire ethos of the Games to make your country proud, a concept which feeds further into nationalism outside of the media frame. In terms of the media, it is clear that broadcasting channels such as Channel 4 will cater towards their predominant audience. Although the Games aim to enforce this idea of global relations, media companies aspire to pay the bills. And it may sound like a reduction of the media. However, if we look at Channel 4, which is a British broadcasting channel, they posted 69 videos covering the events of the Paralympic Games. And all 69 videos covered British athletes and their successes. You may be thinking that this is obvious, and why is it even a question? And that is nationalism playing out right in front of you. With all the videos being about British athletes, it reinforces the idea of national pride as a British broadcasting channel. The lack of coverage depicting successes of other nations pulls away from the idea of the Olympics being a globalized event. If us in Britain are only being shown British athletes, it denies any chance of seeing the event on an international scale. It comes back to the idea that mass media commonly shape their rhetoric around a we versus them, creating a shared history. To counter the idea of nationalism, we have globalization. Globalization refers to the growing network of interdependencies, so political, economic, cultural, and social, that binds human beings together. So it's a concept that tracks the rate of change. And this rate of change has made understanding local and national events difficult without framing them in relation to the global. Globalization is a concept that is often discussed because of the idea that it undermines different cultures that make up the world, essentially putting us all in one box. But it also has the ability to expose people to different cultures that they may not have had access to before. Globalization operates on a very thin line between these two views. It is argued that a nation can be made because of sport and its geographical diffusion via media. So essentially, globalization is necessary to increase attraction for a country and its athletes. If the athlete provides a performance of note, the nation is recognized on a global scale through media output. In a sample of 70 videos published to the Eurosport YouTube channel during the Olympics, 30 different countries were mentioned. The videos Eurosport uploaded simply followed the events of the Games, no matter what nation a success story came from. This is globalization unfolding as we begin to see sporting events as a whole rather than nationally. By viewing these videos, we're exposed to different cultures who may have different programs for their sports or methods of achieving. This also highlights the importance of the media in allowing globalization to take place, and these informational and communication advancements afford fans around the world access to any mediated sport. So, now that we've discussed both nationalism and globalization, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Are the Olympics and Paralympics local or globalized media events? I personally believe that they are local media events. I think that any international event with a competitive element will always reinforce nationalist ideals. Although we may be inclined to watch a different event or an athlete from a different country, it's installed in us that we should show unwavering support to our country. Yes, we can say that Eurosport has a range of content that appeals to a range of different nations. However, still not every country or culture was broadcast. I'm not sure I believe true globalization will ever happen. With different cultures, the scope for friendly relations is slim, and the media reflects the state of this. Now that I've stated my case, it's time for you to have your say. What do you think? Are the Olympic and Paralympic Games local or global media events? Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will see you next week with another installment on the Sports Pod.